came from the civilian, and then you go back to them. If you are not treating them well, then you will fail to get where to start from. I will give you a short example. Is there any of you who comes from Greater Absheni district? You come. So, these are examples, and such examples are there to teach us so that we don't repeat those mistakes. Where do you come from in the Greater Absheni?
I come from Busheni district, Ntambirwe Town Council.
Ntambirwe Town Council. Do you remember, have you ever had in your life somebody who was called the Major Edward Rangaranga?
Yes.
You heard about him?
Yes.
Did you get any story about him when he was still the Minister of State in the office of the Prime Minister during Obote Tutu regime, what he was doing around the shape?
Yes.
Yeah, you can tell them.
Yes, they told us he used to kill innocent civilians. He was not treating the people so well.
Yes. Thank you very much. Now you excuse me. When were you born? Tell us.
15th December 1999.
Now you can see history. History. She was born in 1999. These acts were committed during Obote regime, which was, I think, from 1980, 27th May 1980 up to 26th of January 1986. 85, because there was Tito Kero Twa. But she was born in 1999. But now she knows what he was doing. So that he retired the late Major Edward Rangaranga. It's true. So many people were killed in his hands. Now, on 27, I think it was 27th May 1985. I was also a very young boy. When the government of Obote was overthrown, people, the civilians, rushed his home area. He had put up a very, very good house with the Kajansi. They call it Kajansi. by then Professor Elijah Mshemeza, who is now the MP, was, I think by then he was a lecturer, a young boy at the university. He defeated him. So these are examples we should be able to take. So tomorrow, you are completing university. These positions of leadership, they are yours. They are yours because those who are there are retiring, whether you want it or not. Okay? He served his term and peacefully retired. So those positions, they need young people like you to fill them. In NRM Secretariat, you will be Secretary General, Treasurer, all these positions in government, ministers. And when you reach there, please, you remember my story about Major Edward Ragaranga. Respect the people. Respect the people, they will also respect you. I think let me end here my presentation, because if we have to talk about all this, we can even go up tomorrow. I really thank you for listening to me. Next time, if you have such a kind of thing, we are there. We shall be able to come and even contribute some funds for such a kind of activity. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Congressman Ntambirwe. Ladies and gentlemen, let's join our hands once again and welcome the fourth election. Allow me to welcome our special invited guests that have joined me in the course of the symposium. Together with us, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mayor Tom. You're most welcome, sir. We have Dr. George Orwo. You're most welcome, sir. We have Mr. Ronald. You're most welcome, sir. Together with us, we have guild presidents. And we have been blessed by the guild president, by the presence of the guild president from the Ntambirwe University, Mr. Shyaka. We've been blessed by the presence of the guild president from the Ntambirwe University. You're most welcome, Mr. Marcel. I also have an announcement. Mr. Mwonge Davis is needed outside. Mr. Mwonge Davis is needed outside. Thank you very much once again. I know during this lecture, we made mention of instilling a culture of discipline, and I thought it necessary to echo it as a master of ceremony. As students, we need to take this not so critical and really think about it, think twice about it. Instilling discipline, instilling a culture of discipline. I would also like to
You know why I was excited a bit here? I hope you will believe me. You see, how many eaters sort out? Put up your hands, right? You see, I consider eaters as my brothers and sisters because in the 60s, as I was saying, guess my age, mature, elder fast. My old man was health inspector taking the test of whether it was one district called test of district. Health inspector and had a human. So I would always go with him in the back. I was in Kumi Primary School. I think it's now maybe high school or something, I don't know. See, some of you might not know why we are here. Why we are here is really to impress upon you that whatever you are doing, you do it perfectly well. So you do it perfectly well, people will remember you. I've taken some of your time because my senior doctor. You don't mind if I continue? This gentleman, Shyaka, invited me to Entebbe one time. He's one who said this cascade of yellow people on me. But I went with my retirement path. Here I call it red passport. Are you with me? We honor that retirement passport, red passport certificate of retirement. The senior officers, it is red. Other officers, it is black. I called an SFC officer who was in Entebbe at that time, was there. I said, I cannot allow you to touch this one. I treasured it. Read page number 1. Can I tell you what was there? There are 2 important things there. Military order, just like this, the professor has got to write in your testimony, whatever it is. What was your order when you were in Nkumba? All the years you have been here. Military order, very good. I count 86 because that's the legal part. I don't count the others, I say 86. Because by then, if you had been counted, maybe it would be 100. But 86, it was government, right? So 86 to 2019, being in uniform and what you have said, what we went through, you can imagine having a very good, as you have military conduct, is quite important. But there was something else which I have not appreciated quite there until I absorbed it. Because he knew me well, my general knew me well. He put there that for 35 years, he has been a true cadre of the cause. Are you with me? Yes. For 35 years, he has been a true cadre of the cause. I think he was there that meeting when they were reading it. So I used the same thing. Even when I was passing out a lecture in the Cavalry Police Academy, they also invited me later there. They were NRM from ideological training, Cavalry, Massini. Told them, you are all putting on yellow, and they presume you are all cadres. Do you know the cause? Are you getting me? You must be a cadre of something, right? But do you know the cause? Now, when you know the cause, then you can be a good what? So the NRM chapter, which I see here, is so critical that you must know the cause. That cause is what took us to the bush. You need to find yourself in that bush, but they have to tell you why you are there. Are we getting me? Because you see, you are breaking the law, right? You know, you are very good people. We are broken the law, right? Yeah. True. And you have broken the law, and that law was broken the law very seriously. That is treasonable, right? And treasonable will mean you can be harmed, right? So in other words, the architects, the people who accepted us, had told all of us to understand the cause. Not understanding it, we remain not sure. Even by testing, we don't know why did the people go to the bush to fight. Okay? So I mentioned here something when I was there teaching them on constitutions in Uganda and Cavalier. I said, I'll repeat here again, because you must really get this, that NRA soldiers were told the reasons for their struggle. Are you getting it? Frankly, we are told. That's why we have political commissars, we have all these leaders. They must tell you and you must understand the reason for their struggle. To respect the villagers, that's what he mentioned, and that's why he's here. The civil military started from right then to respect the villagers among whom they lived. That's what he has been telling you. If you are asleep, I'm just reawakening you. That started that time. Okay? Respect the villagers among whom they live and to pay for food and goods they needed. It was not free. We had to sign papers, leaders have signed papers, and they paid back. Except the corruption of the people, they ate the money and still kept complaining and getting more money. Now, this is what I told them. I will tell you the same thing, right? I said the following, that today's leaders, I'm not saying NRM leaders, I'm saying today's leaders. And to us, whether you are NRM or not NRM, as long as I sit in that chair of leadership, I can still repeat the same thing. That today's leaders have forgotten the reason for the liberation struggle. Many leaders from LC1, in ministries, in sectors, have forgotten what? They think they put themselves in the right jobs and they continue. But they must be reminded, that's why there's this ideological type of training. Wait a minute, what was the reason for this problem? They are not respecting the villagers. Am I wrong? You see villagers, especially with the elite, we are not that one. That man without shoes. But that one will respect them. And that's what the farmers told you. That is the respect you give that person. Okay? They give now and still grab their land. How many land grabbers? Land grabbers. They grab their land. Why are you grabbing the land? Now, when you find out who is the grabber of the land, people can say, no, it's the government. I say, wait a minute. They don't see government saying here. It is Ronald, it's John, it's James, because he has the money. It's nothing to do with government. Okay? So you must know that grabbing someone's land is wrong. It's not acceptable. Whether you have, do you know how they grab land? No, they don't just grab it like I will grab your wallet. They come to your village and they say, I think I need 1 square mile here because they have my money, right? And say, ask you as my agent, and they say, ask them how much they give for each one's piece of land, right? Because you see, I have the money, right? And then if the wage man and interest like this is me, I'm not. So this one sees the money, he sells, he remains alone, and he's ring fenced, and there's no entrance, no exit. It's the money. Those who have put money, whichever way. These are the real land grabbers, because they are paying you, and you accept the payment and you say. But some stubborn people, after paying them, they pocket the money and they say, it's a scam. But you took the man's money and I'm not doing it away. They really pay them. They really pay them. After paying them, they say, politician, this man gave you too little. Give the man more. So the whole thing changes the English, right? So land grabbers, they don't just grab land without paying, but you see, they are the ones with the money. And it's not government. You see, we are proving here in Mr. Honorable Kasulu, as we move around the country, that really government is not the one with the money, it's you people who have the money. Except you don't know that you have the money. We demonstrate from constituency to constituency. We have fixed the central region, the Greater Ampole, the Greater Kigezi, the Wezolis were finished. We are now going to move into Bunyoro. And next week, I'm on a training mission we're starting with the Masaka. We must retrain the leaders. You know, these leaders, when we were training them for yoga, everybody was giving 1 year, the other year is looking for election, for votes. So they never got it. And many of them, the wave came, got them off. The new leaders don't know what others were told. Are we together? So they need retraining. So we have ordered all these new leaders from LC5 who are again indoors retraining. They must get back the mission. And remember the strategic objectives: reach Uganda, reach. I want here reach Uganda and reach what? Ugandans. That's what the country, that's what the nation wants. Now the details, the tactical and operational. How do we make you achieve that? What we discovered is that when you have a border group, we ask them, how much money do you eat lunch, breakfast, and yes? How much money do you spend between morning and evening by eating chomo, eating some jugu and other things? We found that they can even eat 7,000. We said, suppose you save that 7,000, would you die? He said, no, save it. Even the minister said, save only 3,000. You are going for 100. The end game per year, they have like 2 billion. Can you imagine? The border, some of having 2 billion on their account in 12 months. They all held their mouth. They have been eating it. Now, what a message I'm leaving with you is one. Right? Let us reduce appetite. How is it? Let us do what? Reduce appetite. You have had lunch, breakfast, lunch, and supper. After lunch, why does guy pass around with a chomo? That thing smells good. Remember the moment you give them kumi, right? It's no longer your what? I contributed my little penny on your water. Why? Because very important people and the nice lady came to my office. That gentleman, he loves me a lot, and the nice lady, who is a very important lady here, young lady, they came to my office, and I had no choice, but I parted with enough money for the he said, if Honorable Kasolo was here, it was going to prosecute me. Because the moment you part with that money, it's no longer your money. They'll say bye-bye. Even if I try to say, are you getting me? You say, no, it's my money, it's no longer what? It's gone. So, these are things you must start. These are things you start from here. Are we together? That if you have already had lunch, supper is coming. But in between, you ask for jugu, you ask for commando, with commando you eat it. Before you realize at the end of the day, you have not spent a shilling, but you have spent 5,000. Are we together? All of us do it. But after the training and teaching, and that's why I asked you, one day, invite our Honorable Minister for Microfinance strategically. Let him come with his team and deal with him. Because I coordinate microfinance. My role on the microfinance is the Minister of Microfinance. Okay. By the time he finishes with you, it's not about those who are used to getting money from the others. It's goodwill, really. My son said, Dad, did you have a loose change? I don't know who created those words. You have some loose money, some loose change. I said, wait, for what? He said, I don't have fuel. Imagine, he wants my loose money for his fuel in his car. Can you believe that? So I told them, sorry now, Honorable Kasolo has spoiled me, or changed my mindset. They can lose money, they can lose change, it's no longer there. If you want the money, be specific, put it in writing. What it is for, then I will give it to you, but I want it back. Are we together? So you younger people, you are used to now can lose money. You say, you go look up, brother, you have some loose change. My friend, if they get here the message of this finance now, that loose money, loose change is within the past years. You must learn saving for the future. If you don't save, you won't eat when you have to eat. So that's the one I want to leave with you. But I hijacked the microphone, by the way. But I'm uniform. The car will back me. We share Jesh and Nkumba. You know, Jesh doesn't steal. So I covered this one. To pass on this message, which I didn't. From here, when you are still here, saving.
Thank you very much, Lieutenant Colonel Ronald Rubale. You mentioned something that I would like to re-emphasize. You talked about appetite, and I remember that saying that what kills a man starts a certain appetite. Now, at this particular moment, allow me to send my thanks to Colonel Ntambirwe, who was a delegate for Brigadier General Rashandi Emmanuel. In a special way, Colonel, we ask that you send our thanks to the Brigadier General and tell him that we appreciate him for all the support he has rendered to us for the success of this event. And in a special way, Colonel, we'd also like to thank you for your words of wisdom. I believe we benefited from them, and we learned that the UPDF is an amiable army, one that is for the people and not against the people. And Colonel, before you leave, just one thing. Since we're talking about the fate of university students after graduation, Colonel, you people have not addressed us as to the points of entry into the UPDF, because the theme is the fate of university students after graduation. So I believe that ladies and gentlemen in the crowd who would like to know also if it's possible for them after university to join the armed forces, and maybe how that is done. Quickly, General, before you leave.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I want to thank you for listening to me for this time. Then I want to assure you that our offices at the Ministry of Defense and Borders up here, they are ever open for you because it's an office for civil military operation. So anytime you come to here, you say you are going to see me, nobody will be asking you. So you are welcome. Then, if there is anybody who wants information and who is willing, maybe to join the army after your studies, because I encourage you first to complete, because you will not achieve what you want if you go halfway. So I will even leave you with my number, so you can call anytime to get that information, because that's why we are there. Just call me and say, I'm a student from Nkumba, I'm asking you about this and this. We shall be updating you in case, because there are opportunities, and the strategic has already made a decision that in this coming financial year, we are going to recruit, we need 2,000 graduates to join the military. So if you are the adverts in the papers and it's for every Ugandan, so you are welcome. Asante sana. I'm on 772 42 89 94. Is in 0701, same number. I think you have got it.
Like to listen. In this case, I'm going to request Mayor Tom and our dear President to step forward as we hand the certificate to the panel. Let's join our hands and
Yes, thank you very much, Madam. Our regards and greetings to Brigadier General Rashandi Emmanuel. Safe journey. So, ladies and gentlemen, and a round of applause to the Colonel as he leaves. Without further ado, I'll proceed to the next speaker on our agenda. And
very stubborn. And so this dog didn't seem to be battered. So the dog kept walking with him. They reached Masaka, he ate his own. They reached Mbarara, they kept walking. Then this man asked this dog, "But why are you happy? Why are you smiling?" You know what the dog said? The dog said, "We are together." Are we together? Some of you, you walk with your head so high. I have a first class. I am studying law. I don't know, I'm the greatest performer, good dancer. Some of you have started walking with your heads high. The theme today is the fate of university students after graduation. And I'm going to speak to that topic, giving you real life examples. My name is Shyaka. I won the first election 2021. Do you know what happened in the second election? That is for member of parliament. We lost the whole of Wakiso. In fact, I am the best loser in Wakiso. When you look at the performance, I was the best loser, meaning that NRM against people power, I gave them quite a good fight. But that does not mean we're not coming back in 2026. After graduation, I was a student and I'm still a student. I studied just here at St. Savio Junior School. I went to St. Mary's College, Kisuli, and then I continued to study law at Uganda Christian. Then I went and did my master's as well in Islaska. But I must tell you, I was a backbencher. There are some backbenchers I'm looking at the back there. When the lecturer is teaching, you say, wow. There was one guy when we were in school. For him, he chose to laugh like a goat. Whenever there was a joke, for him, he chose to laugh like a what? Do you know why? Because there was a goat grazing outside the window. So the teacher would think it is a goat what? Making noise. So one day, that goat was not there. When he laughed, he would look to see if the goat is there. The goat was not there. This time the teacher said, young man, come here. I must tell you that student has never changed. Even with all the graduates, all the degrees and masters, he's still very what? Stubborn. The way you work in university is not going to change the way you are when you are in adult life of work. Some of you walk when you are very angry. Some of you walk when you don't greet one another. Some of you think you are the most handsome and beautiful. Yes. I'm not sure if you guys have you shake hands amongst yourselves? Have you greeted yourselves? Start by greeting yourselves. The friend of university students. That person you are greeting, might be the president of this country. The person you are greeting might save you a predicament. That person you are saying hello to might be the one to employ you. These things of having bad manners and swelling. Okay, I may change my English if you want, I may speak slang. Some of you like swelling. Eh? You like swelling. You walk like you're the guys on campus. Me, I'm the chief. What are these guys going to do? You understand? They say, what's up to you? You just keep walking. They ask me for your number, I don't have a phone. Guys. Some I don't believe in technology. I must tell you, the moment you cross that gate, you are going to wish you knew the person next to you. Are we together? Let me tell you a story. I'm going to give you life experience. When I was in Kawaida Secondary School, the school that was known for non-doers, people who like plastic, people who love enjoying life, there was this particular girl. Every time the girl asked me for a pen, until I began thinking, either she has a problem or she's selling the pens. So I opted to get a box of pens and put in my drawer, in my study drawer. And she come, I said, before you say anything, what you want is a pen. After 2 days, a pen all the time. So I left, I went to my university, and there I was on a bus to Nairobi. When I go to Nairobi, they gave me caution. Number one, don't ask anybody for directions. Number two, don't look left, right, and center like you don't know where you're going. Are we together? Number three, you better know what has brought you to Nairobi. So with all that in mind, my phone was off. The bus had gotten stuck on the road. I was 5 hours late. I pondered, what am I going to do? So what I decided to do was to walk to a hotel and ask the receptionist if he can help me with the phone. And I do what? I make a call for the person to come and pick me. That was my mother then. Guys, I told this receptionist, can I have the phone? The guy looked at me and said, you think this is public service? I tried to understand what public service is, so I can answer him. He said, so they told me that you can walk in any hotel and ask for a phone. I realized this guy is not joking. But while I was there, a lady mentioned my name, Steven. I said, fantastic, this name sounds who is calling me. I look around, I don't see anybody that I know, but I see 3 beautiful girls. I said, I don't remember knowing any beautiful girls. Who should know my name? Then I had again, Steven. I turned and looked. I said, yes. What are you doing here? The girl didn't know. I'm trying to figure out where I met her, if I know her, and how she knows my name. These are some of you who are seated here. You don't look at each other. You just say hello by WhatsApp. You don't look. You should look so that you keep a memory. The effect of university students after graduation. You start asking, is he my relative? Was he with me? Is he my uncle? Why? You can't even identify you are together in university. That was me in a Nairobi hotel. So the girl said, you remember the guy of the pen? I said, hey, I remember you. What are you doing in Nairobi? I began narrating all my problems. I don't have a phone. I'm in Nairobi. I don't know where to go. The girl said, don't worry. We own the hotel. Hey. They say the dog of the president is the king of all what? How do you think I was walking your tail after that? Like a oath. I went to the receptionist and said, can I have that phone? The man looked at me, I said, can I have it quickly? I was in program the whole of the business. I was in program campus. The man looked at me and was here, what? The lady owner. You are as strong as the person next to you, and you are as weak as the person next to you. The fate of a university student after graduation. Ladies and gentlemen, I stayed in a penthouse. I stretched my legs, I opened my toes. I felt like a king at the cost of a pen. Some of you, they come and ask you for material. Did I pay you school fees? Do you know what material is? Am I speaking right language? Yes. Can I have the notes teacher just lecture? Can I have the notes? Me, I cannot give you. I know what I want my what? Give me 5,000 shillings. Let me tell you, you could be helping in this. Are we together? These grades that they are giving you, so you first class, second upper, pass, means absolutely nothing. I can show you people who have passed degrees and their leaders, employed first class. I can show you people who never saw a blackboard and they have created businesses that are multi-billion-dollar businesses. Are we together? Yes. Don't let pride overtake you after graduation. What is going to make you succeed? Few things: humility, integrity, a person of time. A person of what? Time. They tell you come here at 10 o'clock, you show up at 2 p.m. That is a what? A big problem. These are the things that are going to make you either an A class or a F class. The etiquette. Some of you come to functions like this, you have not showered, you have not put on roll on, somebody starts saying, which animal did they bring to this class? These are things that are going to make you lose your jobs or opportunities. Are we? Heads. Are we together? Some of us, when you say no, it means yes. But that does not mean if a girl says no, you should go and buy her. And you guys speak to this interview. You understand? I tell you, I went through the experience of dealing with students, the friendship that we share with one another. And here I was waking up one morning to start selling and maintaining homes. The result of selling and maintaining homes came because of realizing the teacher who is coming to teach me. I began learning how to cut a hedge. I began learning how to, mow a compound. I began learning how to paint. This is the law student. I know the law students here must be swelling. They call themselves Lord Daily. They must be swelling. You guys, I was cutting a hedge. Now, when I was cutting a hedge, there was a van which had won botanical gardens, came to the gate of one of my houses for the client, and the guys walked in. There were 3 men walking majestically, and they asked me, is this house for sale? What did I tell them? First and foremost, I was wearing front clothes. You know how you put on when you are going to work? Sandals that are just open, your hair is not kept, it is even overgrown. You understand? Me, I was busy teaching one of the workers how to cut what? A hedge. Then this man asked me, how much are you selling the house? I told him this house is not on sale. If you read carefully, we are renting, we are not selling. The man said, no, every man has a price. I said, this one does not have a price, he's renting. Okay, let me find out. So I got my phone, I called the client in Nigeria. I said, are you selling the house? He said, no, my instructions were clear, I'm renting the house. But the man here has told me, every man has a price. Can you state your price? The man tells me on the phone, 500 million. So because I wanted to prove a point to this guy, that even if somebody has a price, you also don't have the what? The money. How much do you think I told him? 600. How much do you think I told him? You guys have to be awake. You think I'll tell you 500? I told the guy 920 million. No negotiation. The guy tells me, let's meet for lunch. I said, okay, no problem. When the guy left, I began cutting the hedge, and I was telling this employee, that these are guys who come wasting time, they like smelling. Now he's come here and said they're meeting for lunch. Does he think I want his lunch? You guys, I went, I cut my hair, I brushed my teeth, I showered, I put on a suit like I want to wear it. The guy told me be there at 1 p.m. at Botanical Gardens, and I must tell you, I was there at 12:59. Asking myself, is he coming or is he not coming? As I walked past the hotel, no, I saw the 3 guys seated there. So he had told me, come with this guy is the son of anybody responsible other than myself. So I asked the lawyer of that other side to come, because I was just a person keeping and making my money from the things. Guys, I was there on God. The man shook my hand and told me 2 things, which I want to leave with you. A man is determined by his time and his word. You tell a girl, let's go for a lunch date at 1, you show up at 2:30. They tell you come to class at midday, you show up at 4. Guys, I was there at 1, and these are the words the man told me. So when I was there, the man took us for lunch. I said, now this guy is wasting my time, he thinks I'm hungry. You have the money or not? That is inside me. Relating to the topic, the fate of a university student after graduation. For me, I don't even graduated. So after eating lunch, the man brings the briefcase. You guys, I was trying to smell money like a sniffer dog, but I realized that the nose can only smell at this level. I was trying to smell at that level. Would that be money? Could I be lucky today? Guys, when I went to, the man opened the briefcase, the man had actually given me the figure of 850. Are we together? You guys, money can become a problem. I began asking myself, where am I going to keep the money? I don't have a bank account. How am I going to carry this money? Some of you say you want money, but if they give you money today, what are you going to do? I want to be a multi-millionaire. If they give you that money now, are we together? So here I was with the money. I give it to the person who deserves it, and I say, mine is there, we shall discuss. Guys, I got that money, I put it in conveyance, and I went and kept it in the city. It sounds so ridiculous. First, I didn't know how I'm going to enter it in the bank. Secondly, I didn't want these guys to discover that I had actually made a difference. But that's what we call what? Profit. It's not a crime. Are we together? Now, had it not been the fact that I decided to go and do something different, I would never have made that money. Are we together? Are you hearing what I'm saying? These things are going to help you. Some of you say, for me, I'm a BS student, what do you call it? Bachelor of Economics student. I'm a lawyer. How can they see me doing such? You guys, money, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're an educationist, whether you what, money is money. Are we together? So, anyway, this guy, on top of getting this money, I began walking like as though I own Bank of Uganda. I was very excited. And I was still a university student. So you can imagine how I was swelling. The levels of swelling was 99%, leaving 1% for the future. Leaving 1% for the what? For the future. But this guy tells me, you have the car so that you can take me to Kampala and bring me back. I say, why not? I can drive you, it's not a problem. I went, I got a car, and I decided to become a what? A driver. So now we have talked about a law student who becomes a Shyaka boy, cutting hedges, and then goes ahead and becomes a what? A driver. What am I trying to bring to your attention? Don't undermine what God has given in your hands. Are we clear? I began to drive, but I was hearing the guys talking. The language I don't understand. I brought them to the Serena, and laughs in the car. They asked me, do you want to come for soda? I said no, because I was busy calculating the money in my head. I was calculating what car I'm going to drive, which girl I'm going to date. I thought about everything. Even what could not be thought about, I thought about it. I will tell you that I drove that guy for 3 days. But there's something that he said to me that changed my life. You know what he said? You will not believe it. I was driving past Kajansi, contemplating if I'm going to find my money, how I'm going to swim the next day, how I need to travel to Kenya or Tanzania or South Africa. You know, I was contemplating. Then the guy tells me something that was so ridiculous. Can you please drive me to State House? I laughed. I laughed so hard. First, you are Indians. You want to go to State House? It's not White House. Guys, this is not White House. State House, the moment you show your face without being known, they are going to pick you like a leaf. You understand? There was a question they asked, apparently asked him that if they found you with guns and what? And weapons. He answered like a lawyer, but as a layman, me, I would only say you will finish. Are we together? Indian who is a judge. This guy must be a serious liar. If he's not a liar, he has a plan. But he just bought a house. Maybe he's correct. You see, the things that go in your mind, the conflict inside your mind is so huge that you have to deal with it, or you have to address it. Sometimes you may put on a dress or put on a jacket and ask yourself, why did I put on this cloth? If you can conflict with yourself, how much more are you going to conflict with the next person? Are you hearing me? If you can ask yourself, why did I put on this shoe? Why did I put on this shirt? And you conflict with yourself, how much more are you going to conflict with somebody else? This is a question for you to answer. But I was conflicting with myself. Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you what is very funny. I told the guy I was actually a third year. I got a third year and third year. So I was a third year student going fourth year. I said, wow, that's fantastic. So you want to be a high court judge? That's nice. I told him I'm a law student. He said, really? Okay, I'm going to ask you questions. What happens when a person dies and has no will? Explain to me. He asked me questions from Kajansi to Entebbe. It was like I'm doing 20 questions per second. He asked so many questions. But ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you, whatever question the guy asked, I had the answer. So you started to pass. I remember in law school they asked us a question, why are you studying law? I answered, I want to know how far the law will catch up with me. So every time I studied, I wanted to know where does the law stop. But I realized the law really stops very close. And the gray areas also get at 4. So I really tried to understand what? The law. You know what the man told me? This is important for you. I know there are both some sungusas and I don't know what. This is important for you. The man told me, come and work for me as my personal assistant. The barrier student who has suffered a dead year, who guys have judged for nothing to do, good for nothing, he thinks he's a what? You understand what I'm saying? I began to work at the High Court Commercial as a PA to a judge. What does that do for me? I get to know all the judges, I get to appreciate the law different, and before I knew it, the guys who were with me in fourth year, the guys who left me, went to back us. When they came to do their intern in the High Court, you know what they began saying? Isn't that the guy who got the dead year? Opportunity does what? Finds those who are prepared. Are we together? It is time and chance. In Ecclesiastes 9:19, somewhere it says that one is for Mary and what? Who knows that verse? Guys, one is for Mary, and they continue to say that opportunity does what? Favors is between time and chance. I'll get that verse for you and read it for you. Guys, the guys began looking at me. They began saying, no, you know what they did? The unbelievable. They went and whispered to the you know that guy is not a lawyer. You know that guy we left him in campus. You know that guy, guys, the judge told them, he's the one I want to work for me. He's the one I'm training. Ladies and gentlemen, I was earning $1,000 in third year. Are you together? On top of earning that, I still had my what? Now I accumulated about 10 houses, renting and selling. Let us go back to the field. The fate of university students after what? Graduation. Please don't swear. Are we together? So, guys, I continued, and as I worked diligently, I began pushing projects in the Ministry of Finance. By the time I reached fourth year graduation, I had the connections in Ministry of Justice and connections in Ministry of Finance. Did you know that when the man's contract expired, I went to Ministry of Finance and I said, you know where I was working, the contract expired, the people I was dealing with, and they told me, it is not that you come and do it. I went and did it. Guys, I passed. Do you think I passed because I was too bright? Or do you think that it was a combination of knowing people and studying and not getting exposed? It's a combination of so many things. I became the guy in charge of gaming. Do you know what gaming is? The Uganda word ZAL, casino, sports betting, and slot machines. Yes, I could talk to the minister. You who was graduated in the first class were still reducing the size of your shoes. What am I telling you? This is to tell you, not to discourage you to get the first class, but to encourage you to relate and don't undermine work after graduation. Am I making sense to you? Yes. Personal experience. Guys, I made a lot of money. I must tell you. I'm not broke. I'm not. I have to be very clear. I have to be very clear. I have money. The judge, when he was training me, he used to tell me, follow the money. Are we together? Some of you are studying, but you don't study following the money. You study to meet my concern. You don't study with the motive. Are we together? As I continue, I want to now give you a commercial break as I recognize some people. I have a founder here, Rubale. He works in the Ministry of Finance. We have done great things together. We have done many projects. He actually is a very intellectual person, and please don't hesitate to reach at his office. To meet him, I was referred by General Sally to him. Are we together? We are not actually talking about parents here. We are talking about parents. Define yourselves. Are we together? Define your what? After knowing him for 4 years or 3 years, he then discovered that he knew my father. Only when he met him in the meeting. Are we together? I have our mayor there. His worship, Tom. Tom for my votes in Entebbe. He tried to see how to support me. I must tell you that later on I got to realize that my brother who follows me is marrying in his family. People give back me. Do you think they would have given us that girl? For you. The next is our brother is the youth chairperson in Entebbe Constituency. A very young man, as you can see him. If you need guidance or leadership, don't hesitate to see him, and that is your guild president. His Excellency, we recognize him. Now that we're in commercial break, let me go to the next. So I was still telling you that eventually I woke up in the morning after working with all these ministries and realized that problems are continuous, they never get finished. So I decided, let me stand for Member of Parliament. I didn't come to stand for Member of Parliament to take money. In fact, I was giving money. We supported the youth. All the leaders in NRM, we did their posters. We went and supported the elders. During COVID, we gave over 5 tons of kosho. Whether you're NRM, FDC, or People Power, hunger is hunger. Some of you, when you don't have money and you ask a friend, he says, but are you my friend? Starve today. Give the guy 5K. Let him go and do what? Have something to eat. Are we together? So we continue to support the community. When you give, you are blessed more times than when you don't. Please don't finish university and to give 1,000 shillings. Support your people. But they used to shake money near the bus like this. So I say, hey, I have $100 of what? Of Zimbabwe. But I was not sure if the guy who is trading is aware that yesterday the money has no more what? So I gave the guy $100. You guys, the guy changed and gave me very good money in Uganda shillings. You guys don't do this because then I did it. So when I put the money in the pocket, maybe I saw it wrong. Maybe actually this money has what? Value. After some time, this guy shows his friend, I got the $100 what? Bill of Zimbabwe. But the bus was doing what? Moving. The friend told him, yesterday that money was what? Discontinued. You guys, the guy chased the bus. He chased the bus to get the what? The money that he had given me to tell me that I've done what? I've suffered loss. Ladies and gentlemen, I stretched my seat and the bus get what? Accelerating. Are we together? But he thought that the money had what? Some of you think that the money you are going to get is going to be valuable to you. Understand, what is it that I want? How much is my value? What do I want to get? And how am I intending to spend that money? That guy got money that was expiring. Anyway, I came back later and gave him some money. But I will tell you, he learned a lesson. Are you willing to learn a lesson the hard way, or do you want to learn a lesson the easy way? They say, experience teaches, however, it teaches only fools. What does it mean? You don't have to touch fire, it burns. If it burns your friend, don't touch it. You don't need to touch it to know that it's going to burn you. Let me take you back to the lesson about money. I'm going to get a phone here. Let me get my phone. You find that buying a phone like this one may cost you about 2 million shillings. 2 or 3 million shillings. But when they go to manufacture this phone, you might find that this phone at manufacturing is 500,000. Are we together? But when you bought it at 3 million, meaning that the person selling it to you has made 2.5 million extra. I want to ask you a question. Where do you think the 2.5 million came from? We have made the product at 500 million. How did it become 3 million shillings? Somebody has given it what? Value. But if you remember, if I give you a kilo of beans, you give me a kilo of what? Peas. That is true exchange of value. That is barter trade. Am I correct? Yes. Then they decided to back the 1 kilogram of peas to a currency. That currency is backed by gold. Do you think that when you put the 2.5 million has increased the gold store? Do you think it has increased? Yes. There would be a something we call intrinsic. Yes. That will be the cost of the material that we made it for. Then extra will be the cost to get out of the same manufacturer. Now the question I'm asking, I have 1 ton of gold. It is backed by currency. I have made a profit of 2.5. Has the 1 ton of gold become 2 tons of gold? That is the greatest coin in the world. If you're not listening to me, you're going to go there and start yawning. Are we together? We have said we have, that's what they call creating money out of nothing. That's why Bank of Uganda is there to regulate inflation. Creating money out of what? Nothing. The NRM is telling you that we need to secure our future by having value addition of our raw materials. What is value? Value is not money. Please, people, don't get it twisted. Money is not value. Value comes down to land, comes down to food, it comes down to technology, because that is real value. it comes down to your thought process. Did you know the man who made COVID, the guy who made COVID, the moment they discovered that his medicine was working, what happened? They got him and secured him. SFC voice. They're like, this time we can't lose him. Why? Because he added value to an emergency. But some of you are just there walking, very useless. You don't want to read, you don't want to expose yourselves, you don't want to relate with your friends so that you learn. You're just there walking. But the guy who made confidence was what? Secured. There are people who have broken into banks and they're what? They get, instead of punishing them, the government protects them so they can learn from them. Value. How valuable are you? You find a girl can't walking, but she can't construct a full sentence in any language. So I want to bring the value of the human being and the value of survival. Are we together? Now, I will tell you. When you get, you know, I tell people I like tomatoes because when you cut a tomato, it has the sign of the heart, the shape of the heart. What the NRM is saying, get this tomato. I am a farmer. I'm going to make it very simple for you. I'm a farmer. I have planted this tomato. Okay? This tomato is edible. Now, me as government, Rubale as government is going to ask that does this tomato meet the international community? You may cut the tomato and find that it is rotten. You may cut the tomato and find that the chemicals that were used to grow the tomato are not for human consumption. Are we together? So the job of government is to see that the farmer who has produced this tomato has produced quality. Then, after realizing he has produced quality, the government is supposed to put up a what? A factory. This factory is supposed to process this tomato into tomato paste or tomato sauce. Are we together? Then you add value to the what? To the tomato. Then the tomato can be exported or utilized amongst the people in the country. You're going to talk about onions, you're going to talk about carrots, mangoes. Think about anything that Uganda has. By the way, Uganda is a part of Africa. It has every food you can think of. And guess what? It's organic. Are we together? So government is saying, if we have 36 types of fruits, we should have 36 types of factories. Or that for the number. Produce the quality, export. What have you done? 3 things. The farmer now is earning money. The farmer is able to take the wife to a date. The farmer is able to pay the child's school fees. The farmer is able to pay for medical insurance. The farmer is able to now talk in public and dress decently. Are we together? Value what? Addition. The third of the university student after graduation, they want to put on a suit and walk like me. Hello, I have you. Yes, Commissioner, it's nice to meet you, sir. Minister, yes, nice to meet you. Guys, forget it. Forget it. COVID-19 taught you. His Excellency began cutting portion, showing you how to do what? Minimize food. But if you had had your garden behind, growing tomatoes, carrots, potatoes, and everything, would you be thinking about cutting portion and minimizing it? Ugandans had to do what? Wake up. So if you're going to leave university, your father has 10 acres, or you have 10 acres of land, or an acre of land, go and produce value. When you have produced value, do you know what happens? Money follows you. The reason you are in university today is to add value to your brains, so that you can be trainable, so that you can be able to look at things in a different light, so that you can be able to compare with your fellow colleagues on what the issues are and how best to resolve these problems. Are we together? So, we'll talk about value addition of agriculture. Now we are going to talk about ICT. Guys, what makes Twitter, which was recently acquired by Elon Musk, right? I can't remember. No, it's less. It's less. The guy in Uganda. Yes. Some guys in IT, like you guys who are studying IT, created Twitter, made it valuable. Who made it valuable? Now let us jump from money and go to cryptocurrency. Who makes cryptocurrency valuable? It's not the government, it is the people. Are we together? It is the people giving value to cryptocurrency. It's the people giving value and saying that this, because it has been mined, it has a value of so much. Are we together? Now, Twitter, or let us say Facebook, you know, it was created in a garage, and today it has quality. It has a very big value. Who gives it value? People. If people were not in Twitter, do you think Twitter would have had value? So what have they done? They created value through Twitter. Shares at 50% or 51%. Can you imagine? Now, and whispering nothing and gossiping about your friends. Take time to utilize your brains and think about creative ideas that people can give value to. People give value to food because without food they are dead. Can you create value other than agriculture, other than technology? Even you as a person, can you be valuable? You find a family has 5 children, but they're all useless. One takes weed, the other one pickpocks pills, the other one takes shisha, the other one is just. If you keep taking these things, over a period of time, your brain is going to go lower than normal. Are we together? I am telling you through experience. I know people who have done it, and they are members of Botanica, well registered. You find your friend has come from Nkumba and has marched straight to Botanica. Be your brother's keeper. Don't see your friend going astray and you say, he thought you were the brightest. Bring him back because he will become useful if you can work together. Now, I want to go back to the page of the university student after graduation. Some of you want to study alone. You don't want to share notes. But you know, like I own a law firm called Tropical Advocates. It's one among the best law firms. We're lawyers for KK Security, Pinaco, American Embassy, Stanley Firm. We're quite good lawyers. But I'll tell you, what makes a firm is because they are a group of people seated in it and giving it what? Value. Some of you belong to groups of study groups, right? But you don't want to attend, you don't want to share notes, you don't want to share your brain, you want to keep quiet and say they'll figure it out. I have to get a first class. Guys, you are joking. You go out to the world, the guy you've been undermining is the one who is going to employ you. Or is the one going to give you money. Are we together? When I was in Kisuri, I remember I asked the student guy in front of me, what's the answer for that number? The guy looked at me with that serious eye. I told him, hey, what's the number? What's the answer? The guy was in my case. He's like, I'm not going to give it to you. I was still on this case. You guys, what is the number? They asked me funny things I can't understand. I don't know why I said, what? These funny things they ask us in school. Which end of the day? Okay, let me stop there. I will tell you, the guy never gave me, but to my surprise, he will get 95 and me I'm there in 60s. I will tell you that I'm married and I have 3 sons, 2 daughters and 2 sons and 1 daughter. But once we were fortunate that when they produced us as students. 3 of us at once. But Abaho in Uganda, is that correct? We are going to 3. So we were used to doing things together. So I try to find out what this guy is going to answer. I can't wait 6 days. Guys, recently, the guy was saying, Shyaka, you have been told. I'm giving you personal experience. I don't want to get it like a publish. I want to bring my realities to you. Because you're a university student, so I want you to understand where you are going. While you have the chance to make the change, go to first years, greet them. Go to second years, greet them. Go to third years, greet them. Make sure your friends, even the lawyers. Because ask even the lawyers, when we are doing business, we need a lawyer here. They say the man works next to them. You need a lawyer. Because as lawyers, we believe we know everything except nothing. Forgive me for that. Forgive me for that. So, I don't want to take much of your time, but I want you guys to have insight in what I am telling you. Are we together? Let's have insight in what I'm telling you. I've talked about integrity, I've talked about time management, I've talked about us working together, I've talked about not undermining any work that has come before you because it will open doors for you. Are we together? Some of you will be there. Me, I'm a doctor, or me, I'm an engineer. I cannot be seen being a receptionist. Please be a receptionist. Are we there? You're there crying out and can't give us jobs. The jobs are there, but you don't want to do them because you have elevated yourselves. Please come down to earth. Get off that high horse. Talk to your lecturers. Let them give you experience. Don't undermine them. Don't be mean to them. Try and relate with what? With them. In my concluding remarks, I would like to tell you that the NRM is the best party to govern the land. How many of you have been driven in a car before? If you are talking with the driver and the driver says, you know, I just learned how to drive yesterday, what are you going to do? Master. I want us to choose to be the grateful youth. Somebody who has had experience for over 20 years and 30 years is a better option. We agree we want change, but it is a better option. When the pilot says, welcome on board Ugandan Airlines, guys, I just took alcohol, I learned how to fly the plane yesterday, it kills him, guys, get ready to put your safety belts. All of you are going to run out. So what makes you think that the country should be run by someone who has no experience? So, despite that you have different views, my view is I am positioned in the NRM and we are going to continue solving our problems in-house. Some of you have not tested your fathers out of being leaders. Your father is there. You don't tell him, please go away. I also want to be the father. No. Are we together? Because of his experience. So, we should not be the youth that are abusive, the youth that want to fight, but let us use our intellect to reason out with those in power and get exactly what we are looking for. Are we together? So, I would like to commend you for coming to this meeting. I would like to encourage you to work with a positive mind. Some of you who are Bible scholars and those that read the Quran, you know that there's power in your tongue. Some of you want to talk bad things upon your lives. Me, I can't make it. They told me I'm a failure. They told me I'm good for nothing. Start blessing your lives. Are we together? Start telling yourselves that you're going to be the top of everything. You're going to be a good friend to your neighbor. You're going to be a good boyfriend or girlfriend. Serious. Some of you guys here, the state of the university student after graduation, if you have not got your girlfriend, you are going to buy one. These are for the boys. To buy one. How much is school fees? Don't forget it. University is not just there for you to study. It's there for you to relate. It's there for you to plan your future. Are we together? Me, I dated for 9 years and I'm married 8 years. You may be looking at me and thinking like I'm making on your age. I'm still a very young man. Are we together? Let us be Pan-Africans. Am I correct?
Yes.
We have to love Africa. You find a guy is very big, he throws a banana peeling out of a window. He's in a taxi, he does the same thing. Let us be responsible for our country. Let us love our country because this is where we are born and God has given us the responsibility to love Uganda. Are we together? If you don't love it, who is going to love it? Nobody. COVID-19 should have taught you. The fate of a university student after graduation is very interesting. I wish you all the best.
Listen to Honorable Shyaka, so you almost wanted to talk like him after, but he's Honorable Shyaka and it's only one him. He said something. I remember the book, The Houseboy, Ferdinand Ndoyono. The dog of the king is the king of the dogs. So he accepted to be the dog of the king and he ended up, the king of the dogs. That's interesting. I mean, the man was overflowing with wisdom, and I can tell that in these few hours of listening, all of us have learned a lot from him. So, without further ado, allow me invite His Worship, the Mayor of Katabi Town Council, Tom Byarugaba. Your Worship, welcome. I greet you. Good morning. NRM Chapter way. Yeah, I don't know me, I'm a politician. First of all, let me address the protocol. Honorable Shyaka, Chairman of NRM Nkumba our flag bearer, Afande, Ronald Rubale, Operation, Voice Creation, Ministry of Finance, Bill Presidents, Dignitaries present, ladies and gentlemen. I greet you and I want to thank you so much for inviting me to come here. And I want to say I'm very grateful to the Guild President and NRM Chapter and its committee for holding this kind of forum where we can look at the face for the future of our students after graduation. I want to say that when I was informed about this discussion, it was very interesting. And I said I will come and participate with you. I also want to inform you that I'm your old boy here. I was in this university between 1994 and 1998. So I was here. Some of you are not yet born, isn't it? So Nkumba has made us what we are. And therefore it's going to make you what you're going to be. So be confident, be positive with yourselves. Use the chance now. Try to pick up from the great ideas that the gentlemen before us have given us. I want to apologize that I came slightly late. I did hear what Afande Rubale has said, but I know him very well. And I also met him after one of the big men in this country had referred me to you. Afande Rubale, people should clap for you. You're a great man. You're a great man. And you cannot, the president can't tell you to go and look for Afande Rubale. You think Afande Rubale is good. He's a very, very great man. He has done a lot of things. The ideas you are seeing in government, the policies you are seeing, the microfinance, the issues you are seeing on the ground happening, the parish models, the yogas, the Tanikwa, you're not clapping. I'm not going to start saying this and that. So, Afande Rubale, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And we appreciate you as a Entebbe municipality. One time when we were organizing funds for the teachers got a facility from government of about 28 billion. And they didn't know how to access it, and they were confused. And so all these programs that were drafted by him, he had to come to Entebbe municipality and talk to all the teachers. And that's how NRM won elections that year, 2016. And we had Ronald CIMIC as our member of parliament then. So I find I can't stop thanking you. And I'm going to thank you again because these people here are going to come to you. They are going to use your programs that you have created as they forge a way forward in their life, as we start moving from the state of economy we are in, or this world we are in now, to the first world. If we are still a third world country, we are going to move to the first world very soon. Okay? So basically, I am here to discuss that issue that is before us. I will not fail to appreciate greatly what Honorable Shyaka has talked about. I have seen Honorable Shyaka grow, doesn't know it, because I was much older than him and the family. And I didn't get that part of the story that you gave us. And I realized that the opportunities in the world are what? Are there. And they are plenty, isn't it? And I think really your talk has also changed me a bit. And I want to thank you very much because I like somebody who comes and gives his real experience. The real story. A real story is better than what is written, isn't it? And it inspires so much. So I'm very, very grateful as well for that talk. And I request them to clap for you. I was also a guild president in this university. Are you aware? Yes, I was. You might be mistaken that what is told here. No, I have been here because of that office. I got connections and I related very well with leaders. I was a Rotarian. How many Rotarians are here? Retractors, sorry. I was the founder of the Retract Club of Nkumba University. I was charter secretary of that club. And I managed to relate with so many leaders in Entebbe because that time we were meeting at Lake Victoria Hotel. And I got connections to join Entebbe International Airport, where I've worked up to now. Getting involved in club activities, okay, and other social activities can lead you to your destination, your final destination. And I've been here, I'm still in Entebbe. I was the guild president, I became chairman of the movement at the airport, then I became chairman who sits as executive in Entebbe. Now I am the mayor of Katabi Council in NRM. And the NRM level, I'm not the other one. But that one I consider it was the way. Was this the way? Yeah. So basically, those things that you had the gentleman talk about are very, very important. And so mark them. I hope you have notebooks and you're writing down this. As the mayor NRM, what is my role?
I am also the chairperson of NRM. I don't just sit there in my office and they say Bamba Bendera and I sit there. No. I carry out a lot of activities. But before I go far, let me introduce some people who are here, whom I work with. I want to introduce the chairman of NRM of this area where we stand in Nkumba, and is Mr. Dungu standing there. Clap for him. The chairman NRM for this area. I want to introduce the councillor of the village where I come from. The councillor, person who sits at the town council and deliberates on all the issues regarding the town council, and who is one of the only NRM candidates who managed to make it through that very dangerous night. Alex Ramaza, we should clap for you. He sits at the council and is my councillor at Kabale where I stay. I want to introduce another senior cadre, a person who has been an inspiration to us. Most of you are young, you are growing. We were like you. There are people who inspired us to be what we are. Mzee Musisi, Afande Musisi is the leader here and is in charge of the people who were together with Afande Rubale and is in charge of all the veteran affairs in Katabi Town Council. So the team that does its work, we work together. When I was approached by the guild president and the NRM chapter, we said, no, I will support you. I will come here and I will be present and I will support you morally and financially where possible. And I want to applaud the team, the chapter, for engaging me all throughout. The speaker, thank you very much, is standing there. Where is the chairperson of the committee? She's called Smaya. Where is Smaya? Smaya, come here. Where is Smaya? They should clap for you. She chaired very well. And so we chairing this meeting. Smaya, and I think really we have a potential there. In that area, as you can see, the function is going on. So those are leaders who are going to be like us, and some of you are going to also be like us. I want to encourage you. Back to the topic. Today I'm going to talk about government programs. I'm not going to tell you my story. My story is very long and very, very good. It is so touching, but that will be for another day. One thing is that the difference between mine and Shyaka's is that for me, I had a historical background which was so touching. You get it? I grew up in Kampala. I had the best opportunities. My parents were here. But in the 1980s, my father was killed in cold blood by the sadness that was there. And that is something that inspired me. 2 years after he had died, President Museveni came to power. And in my heart, I was still in primary 6 when the president came to power. I was living in Byarugaba that time. Yeah, you are going to say, that's where we were staying. But according to my standard, the country there, a school where I was studying, in Kiswa Primary School, after leaving Shimon, where my father had left me, and because he had died, we had to go to a very small school. You get it? And that's when the president came to power. You get it? Now, I want to tell you one thing. There's something that came to my heart when we were doing those roads in Byarugaba. Just around 86, maybe June, I said Uganda has gotten to life again. That time I was back in physics. I said Museveni is going to be the best president in the world. And I have it in me. I said now we are free, we are happy. And I'm telling people celebrate. I'm telling you people here who have seen President Museveni 35 years, don't blame them. Whatever they inherited before that was hell. It was really terrible. You get the point? We're the best people to tell you the stories now. That's a bit of a background. That right now we are celebrating every single minute, every single thing you see in Uganda. When you see a factory being built, when you see a road being constructed, when you see jobs being done, investment summits, just say thank you. I always thank that because I saw the worst. We saw the worst. So I want you to have positive in you, like what I had in 1986. And I remained positive and said, no, Uganda is going to be better. And I want to assure you, Uganda is better. Uganda is very good. Uganda is at its best. Nobody should lie you. People should not go and start telling you stories of people, the people power stories you hear. The wrong things people are talking about. Let us look at Uganda. Let's leave politics out, isn't it? Let's leave politics out. Let's look at our country. Our country. Some of you, I want you to reflect on that. Go back and read your books and look at Uganda. Between 1971 and 1986. You know how many presidents we had then? There were about 9 or 10. Just between there, in a period of less than 15 years. But we have had one president who has controlled this country and put it at this level. By the time I was in Nkumba University, there was no storage, storage building. The only building that was here is this one here. You see this one? This was the building we had here. That building you see below there was the library. You get the point? All these blocks came in because of this country, because of the economic stability. I want to inform you, NRM Shyaka, government of Uganda sponsored the construction of the library here. That library you see. Your children are going to benefit from government indirectly in future. So I want to tell you one thing, that whatever we are doing now, the background into what we are discussing needs to be got. You need to think about our country, where we came from, where we have reached, and where we are going. Do we have a future? You're not saying yes. Do we have a future? Yes. Do you see Uganda has a future? Yes. Yes. And that's what I'm telling you, that Uganda has a future. And we are moving on. And I know that if you believe that you have a future, know that you are going to get jobs. Know that your future is secured. Know that you are going to get medicine for yourself. Your children are going to go to school. You are going to get jobs, and you're going to be okay. Now, I was looking at this manifesto. I don't know whether you've got copies of this manifesto. I came with some of them. I hope some of you have got. Now, for us, we don't want to talk much. Our issues are in these books. And these books have been designed, and most of the programs here have been designed by the Secretary. And the economic ones, microfinance, Rubale has talked about them, I believe. And it's one of the architects in most of these. At Secretary level, they gave us these books. And when you look at the table of contents, number 1, they talk about creating jobs and wealth creation for all. You get the point? What are you looking for here in the future? You're looking for money, isn't it? You're looking for well-being in the future. You're looking for a nice life. And this is what is on our manifesto number 1. You get the point? This is there, it's very clear. The NRM government doesn't plan. It knows our problems. It is already seeing our future. It is saying, how am I going to help the young generation get jobs? How are they going to secure their lives and those of their families? So, the first chapter is talking about the economy. And it talks about the economic achievements. So, these are some of the things that we're going to talk about. Everybody has a booklet. Yes. Yes. When you look at the table of contents, number 1, it talks about the economy. How is the state of our economy today? how are we going to transform our economy? And the economy, they talk about the economic achievements, the macroeconomic stability, okay? The issues of a free market economy is what they are talking about. One of the things that NRM has concentrated on is stabilizing this country economically, opening up markets, opening up opportunities in trade. Government created a private sector foundation, and we are supposed to have speaker here who was supposed to come from the private government. Another event, because we plan to have office, we shall have them here. There are so many opportunities for business entrepreneurs. I forgot to tell you that I'm also the president of the Federation of Uganda Freight Forwarders. I'm also the president of the whole country. I see that the private sector foundation board, and I've seen a few opportunities that I saw there, a few ideas. I'll give them to you. Government sets up these enterprises or these bodies to help us see how we can open up our chances in life. Right now, the private sector foundation has got a budget or an account, money that is not yet utilized, to the tune of $39 million. 39 what? $39 million is in the private sector foundation account, and it's not with what? Repeat that after me. Are you getting me? We have money that is there waiting to be utilized by you. But don't go to me. Come up with the book. Which take it? What am I saying? Right now, our economy is centered on job creation, innovation. You get it? Coming up, we're not going to be employed by government. Government they can employ about 20%. I can see 20-30%, but 70% of our sector must come out of private business, must come out of trade, agriculture, mining, and all these other sectors. So how are you going to utilize your chances after university? When government has provided those opportunities, what are you going to innovate? What program is going to come up? You've seen people coming up with technology. The one I saw yesterday, you can again see one. Purifier, water, it's called water purifier. It just takes a clay pot. I don't know, put some plastic things under, then it does something on top, put a small tap, and comes and sells it to you at 180,000 shillings. You get my point? That is some bit of innovation. You need to come up with some innovative ideas and see how you can generate some money. Correct? Because the money is there. Government will provide this money through microfinance, support center, and other sectors.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this goes to the dancers from the Teso Cultural Community and all those on the welcoming team. The Honorable Minister is on the gate right now, so if you're on the welcoming team, especially the dancers, making a special request that we meet and go welcome the Honorable Minister at the gate right now. I've been asked to request even the guests that are comfortable with it, that we're doing maybe welcoming him. I don't know if that is okay. The girl president just whispered that to me. Right, so before exit, apologies for that. The minutes are guide us here, but those on the welcoming team, welcoming committee, please let's meet outside and welcome the Honorable Minister. Your Worship, sorry for intercepting, I need to make this.
Thank you very much. Of course, you know, it's very, very important to have one of the guests as a minister here. And we have to respect that protocol. So let me go back to what I was discussing. Somebody come and. So we are talking about opportunities that government has provided. We are talking about chances that so many things can come out of what government has provided. Securing the future, fighting and redeeming this country from the struggles and problems we had, initiated peace. Peace initiates, gives you a chance. Peace and stability gives you a chance to explore the opportunities. But once you know that the country is peaceful and everything is okay, then you're free. You're free to come up with ideas to do so many things. Agriculture is the backbone of this country. And most of you have not looked into agricultural opportunities. How many of you have attended expos, agriculture expos at the New Vision expos, the Bukete agricultural expos? How many of you have attended those? You have not. So let's start attending them. Every year we have 2 expos. And most of you have got land in the villages. Most of you have got shambas, you have got plantations. But you don't know the opportunities behind having those things. So basically, there's a chance for everything. The biggest equipment or the biggest weapon you can ever use now is research. Find out. During this time, you have a library. And I believe they still buy newspapers in the library. Is it right? That they must provide newspapers for you? Yes. Read those newspapers. At least when you get time to get off the books, go and read a piece in the New Vision and find out the opportunities that government is providing. The New Vision has so many of them. Look through it. So that will help us, give us a new mindset. Fishing is a very great opportunity. People have been making money recently in a Nuni. They go to Nuni. Yeah, we did a Nuni. That they used to throw it away. Recently, when we started dealing with the Chinese came here and I think the first time they came to our building state house. And eventually started doing the roads. And they saw something in that dial patch. And now the dial patch is a problem. You can't even touch it. You know? That has become a problem of mine. Some of your colleagues have been fired because they have been tampering the dial patch. What is in that? Now we don't see Tanapia, dial patch, Mokene. There might be other great what? Other great items within there. We have great opportunities in the lake. Tourism of the lake. There are animals that we haven't exploited yet down there in the lake. So we need to look into more research. I'm trying to tell you, let us research. Let our brains start opening up, open your mind, start focusing. What can I do differently from what people have been doing? What can I do? I've got an opportunity, I've got a computer. By the time we were starting, we were studying at the university. Computers had just started coming in. We had a computer lab. You still have a lab here. We had a lab and we go there and we look at the computer, you don't even know where to start pressing. You didn't even know what it was. We had no mobile phones. You have mobile phones. They are only acting as computers. But all you have the computers. You can Google. You can Google your way through there, isn't it? So I have already given you ideas on some of these things. Find out, let your mind open up to new opportunities. Your minds are still fresh. And I'm advising you, somebody was telling me yesterday when we were in another meeting, one of the students, and I told the students, you're not supposed to take alcohol. Alcohol is very bad when you are young. Clap for yourself, those don't take alcohol. Now, alcohol can cause you to start losing your memory. You get the point? Yes. So you don't need to take alcohol unless you are 45 years and above. Yes. Yes, but again, now in order for you to refresh your mind, to have the opportunity to think well, to broaden your spectrum in thinking and doing things correctly, please, if possible, don't take it. First, give it time, let your mind start focusing. And then you can, once you started working and you are earning some money and you already fit somewhere, then you start taking a little bit. Okay? So alcohol can disorganize you. I have students I was studying with at university. Some of them completely failed to get jobs. Some failed to make it in life. It's very bad and very sad. See some people pass away at young age and don't make it in life. Because they have killed the opportunity when they still had the time to research, make connection, make friends, and then have things done. I can see the minister is approaching. I think we better stand up and welcome him. I don't know whether we shall have the hand over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, a thunderous round of applause as we welcome our Minister for ICT and National Guidance. Yes, so we are going to sing the national anthem because this is our chief guest, Honorable Baryomunsi, the Minister for ICT and National Guidance. So at this juncture, and without wasting any more time, I would like to invite one of us in the crowd to come and lead and sing the national anthem, and then we'll proceed. All right, Desire will lead in the singing of the anthem. Let's stand still and join in singing the anthem.
Our future in
East African anthem.
Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuwajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Lead us in the Uganda regional anthem, please. One of you lead us earlier on. Will you please step up and lead us in that again? Right, thank you very much. Let's welcome the Vice President of Nkumba University Government to lead us in a word of prayer.
Lord, we thank you for this day, as we're going to listen to the various speakers. Father, we pray that let your Holy Spirit guide us, direct us. We cover this day under your precious blood and every activity under your precious blood. We thank you, we give you glory. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen.
We now take our seats. Our dear chief guest, Honorable Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, our Minister for ICT and National Guidance. In your absence, we had Lieutenant Colonel Rubale, Ronald, speak to us. We also had a delegate, delegated by Brigadier General Russian Emmanuel. We had Colonel Ntambirwe, who spoke to us and left because he had a meeting. And we had the Honorable Shyaka Gashaija talk to us as well. We had our NRM Mayor, Katabi Town Council, Honorable Byarugaba, talk to us as well. And in a special way, I would like to ask the entire House once again to put our hands together thunderously as we welcome our Minister right here in our midst. Yes, Doctor, thank you very much for your arrival. We have a number of dignitaries in the building as well. We have NRM leaders, right from NRM chairpersons at different levels. We have LC chairpersons around as well. And we have, of course, the guild government in relation with the NRM Nkumba Chapter that put this together. In a special way, I would also like to recognize the presence of our representative from the administration, Dr. Ann, who is also the Dean of SOS. Yes, And without any further ado, I would like to welcome Dr. Ann to take us through the welcome process. Dr. Ann, taking this opportunity to invite you to, on behalf of the administration, give a word of welcome to our Honorable Minister, Dr. Baryomunsi.
Can you hear me well? There is always the NRM club. I want to first ask one of the two cadres of NRM to teach this group how we clap. Then we clap and receive the minister in the NRM way. Have we done? Yes. Can we clap and receive the minister? Okay, maybe the problem is mine. We say 1, 2, 3, and then we go so 1, 2, 3. Protocol observed. I want to take the honor on behalf of Nkumba University Administration, and specifically on behalf of the trustees, the council, the management, and the staff, and the whole student body of Nkumba University, to receive you here, Dr. Baryomunsi. When I sat next to you, I forgot that I'm just an academic. I am not the other one of your field. Nkumba University takes pleasure in your presence here, and I also want to take the honor to receive all the other members in uniform and otherwise who have heeded to the call as we speak the NRM language here at Nkumba University. This is a historical moment for us. I also, in a special manner, recognize those who have left before I joined you, and whoever reaches out to them, endeavor to deliver our thanks from the management and the entire university body, in terms of administration and the students and staff. 13th May 2022 will go on record. I think the last time we tried to do something related, we didn't get a minister. That's why I'm saying it's going to go on record. The last time we tried to do the same as well, which was close to 2021. It was a bit shaky, very shaky indeed. Although we finally received communication from one of the cadres, but it wasn't that simple to get anyone to army. And so the reason I say that today will go down in history is we didn't just get the minister himself, but we also got strong men. I think NRM is a bit gender insensitive, or could it have been the inviting team? But I stand on behalf of the women of NRM. And we want to ask the members who are present here, and also the NRM as a party, but also the NRM as administrators, political, economic, social administrators of this country, to remember Nkumba as well. Among the academic institutions which are there, we also present ourselves as key partnering institutions. I have had mention made of research. I have had the mention made of the library. I've had a series of things that have been mentioned in which the government has had an input, and we are saying we thank you, but we also do not forget to ask for more. It's that child who has been risen in the village, when your father is eating, there's something he does to mean he's asking for something more. Prestige, you know what that is? Yeah? When he clears the throat, it means he needs some more sauce. So we are also clearing the throat and saying that we need some more sauce. Without spending much, I want to ask the organizers if I should use the opportunity. Did the MC run away from me?
Right.
Should I use the opportunity to also give the speech?
It's okay.
Okay, so I want to use the chance to also speak on behalf of the Vice Chancellor. Vice Chancellor has a lot of confidence in me. This is the second time he's saying here as his representative. Something special, I think. But I also want to say that it is a tricky position as well, that I be sent by my boss, and yet I also have my own issues that I would have wanted to put across. So I hope that where I go wrong, you will shoot at the BC and not the person who is here. So I'll read it verbatim. And so the theme today is the fate of university students after graduation. I chose deliberately not to look at just after graduation, but also the pre-graduation period. And I have thought of the university students as a youth, a member of the youth. And because Uganda has the biggest audience, the biggest population as youth, I think we should be thinking of youth probably after or pre-graduation. So protocol I observed earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor and pleasure to speak to you this afternoon on behalf of a very youthful academic administrator, Professor Jude Rubega, who is the Vice Chancellor, and has trusted that I could fit in his shoes. Audience, Nkumba University's Vice Chancellor is one of the youthful citizens of this country who have witnessed most of their lives so far under the NRM administration. Ladies and gentlemen, Nkumba University is one of the oldest private chartered institutions of higher learning, and we welcome you and take pride in identifying with you. Our identification with you is very historical. We go back to the days of the guild presidents here. We have been lucky after a series of years to secure another NRM guild administration. And we invite on you who are here to take the one home and tell them that we have cleared our throats for the next 1-2 years, that you support us again as we secure the seat. We also go back historically to successful servicemen and women as members of parliament and other arms of government. We can confirm without doubt that Nkumba is a that he would give Nkumba University a bus. We trust, we really trust that today that golden promise and reminder is going to go back well wrapped. Undoubtedly, we are very grateful to the aid that we have received from the government in the construction of the library. And we have therefore, as a government, challenged the myth that if you want to hide information from an African, you put it in the books, but we are reading. However, as the case is with very many private universities, the institution is suffering fluctuation in finances, especially in the post-COVID period. So don't be surprised when you hear of challenges in payment of staff and running of the university and academic activities. We will be very grateful if you receive the hand. Nkumba University has supported the NRM in very many ways. For instance, we teach the NRM ideology, which we may not come up to speak about. We do it practically and theoretically. We have lecturers that deliver subjects like national security and development, foreign policy, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and above all, peace. And we want to thank this government for bringing us peace. Most of us do not know what war is. And we also appreciate the fact that you have always endeavored in the series of speeches that you make to link peace to development. And we hope that the message is spread across. For today's theme, movement of the university students after graduation, we challenge you, those of you who are in power, that you shouldn't just occupy office, but you also leave very meaningful legacies. We implore you to cause positive change by creating strong cadres. The academia, for instance, is a key hub for political incubation and recruitment. So in whatever you do not ignore the academia. Oftentimes we have seen reach outs to those who are in downtown Kampala. Rarely do we see reach outs to private institutions. So we ask, for instance, why do you intervene in later stages of key activities where your input is highly required? Oh yes, we do implore you to be fair and considerate the youth in different academic fields. We ask you to have an inclusive approach for scientists and artists. And despite the view, for instance, social sciences is a discipline that must be supported for its good to the community and the world as a whole. In studying, pacifying people, for instance, and seeking alternative ways to dispute resolution. We must support all. Science is tested. Theories help science to prove the hypothesis. And therefore, artists and scientists are equally important. As part of living has been under the care of this regime, we ask you that you look into the living conditions. We know, for instance, and we are sure that you know, rising levels of poverty hurt youth most. It shatters their dreams for the future. It exposes the youth to dangerous coping strategies. And as youth, we say that we want neither cassava nor bread, but we want both. Today and tomorrow, we want to survive, and we also want to live. As seniors, we implore you to lead and prepare the country for an organized future. For us, the generations today, and those who come. We challenge you to look towards unifying this country through tolerance, accommodation of different views among diverse groups, be balanced in security provision and resource allocation, to commit to judicial processes and other political structures, to build strong and effective governance structures that even many years after you, this country shall survive. Where these principles have been evident, we say well done. Senior political administrators, we look forward to your mentorship, to simplicity in communication, but demonstration of empathy in what you say and do, challenge you to be role models that we don't regret to follow. And lastly, we ask that you don't kill the spirit at Katabi, and that the team behind this gathering is willing to create. I want to say that among staff, we also have a group that we have called Friends of NRM. We appreciate your time on that our invitation. And yet the institution has enough facilities that can be used for national activities. Don't run away from bringing your Pan-African lectures here and other trainings. We are available to collaborate in community service. Tarehe Sita days, we are present. Academic programs and professional, tutorial, professorial lecture deals in the national institutions. You can draw some of your staff from Nkumba University. Strategically situated on the highway, we invite you to make stopovers as you travel. And so I don't know if those were my words or words of the PC, but I know that the person who has been speaking is Dr. Abaho, and I am the Dean School of Social Sciences.
Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Abaho. Another round of applause for her. A true example of woman emancipation. She has also really spoken the truth. I love when she emphasized the fact that scientists and artsmen are equally important. Reminds me of the words of Galileo Galilei, who said, science and arts are like two different languages preaching the same message. So without wasting any more time, we are really going to miss the Honorable Shyaka.
My friends, I need to leave. I'm running to Entebbe to continue the good mission. Honorable Minister, my name is Shyaka Stephen. These students want to be prioritized for jobs in whatever sector, in whatever education background they have. Thank you very much.
I'd like to present to you a certificate of appreciation. This space and
thank you all, gallant ladies and gentlemen of Nkumba University. You can also give yourselves a thunderous round of applause for taking up this space. Let's clap for yourselves. And so we are almost coming to the end of our agenda today. And once again, allow me to thank our guests for honoring our invitation and turning up as we did invite them. So before we welcome our chief guest, who is the Honorable Minister, to speak, allow me to take this opportunity to invite a member of our university. He's actually from Nkumba University, Kampala campus, a master's student. And I'm going to give you only 5 minutes to talk to us. His name is Captain Simon Luke Obolot. He's working with Air Force and is a student of Master at Nkumba University, Kampala campus. You're welcome.
is we know sciences, in the case, Ronald and Ronald. Students, good afternoon. First of all, I've been given a very brief task. Within 5 minutes, I must talk to my fellow students, looking at the date of students after university. I am born of 1979. Just want to give you very brief about me. Being a student, I will conclude that later. I started my primary one, 85. I started 97, 91. My senior 5, 95. Sorry, my senior 4, 95. And my senior 6, 98. Immediately, having done sciences, I saw an advert. That's why I want you to know that opportunity exposed you, capture it. 99, I saw an advert. Uganda, because Defense Air Force is recruiting scientists, immediately applied without asking why, because I did sciences. That means I took a decision. Some of us after university, you see advert, you begin undermining. The moment you undermine any advert, you undermine your opportunities. So I encourage you, immediately after graduation, look at any opportunity that comes to you. Even if you have done sciences and you have not done arts, and there is a job advertised concerning arts, please apply. Another thing, where I come from, I lost a mother within 3 hours of giving birth. But I grew up listening neighbors say, "Oh, these people are very poor." But I kept asking my father, why are they telling us that you are poor? But the first thing my father could not reveal to me, he just said, you go and study. Well, so those days was not like the way they do in these cities. We could sit on bricks. And there were a lot of insurgencies. You find the chromosomes are coming, rebels are coming, ages, it was not like this. But later on, I realized that we need to be persistent in everything we do. I can assure you, immediately after my senior four, before my good results came out, also my father has a phone. I said, what can I do? I had to join immediately, senior 5, with that kind of background. But today, whoever spoke that word, that poor family, I am the one supporting the whole community. I share ideas. I cannot then tell you that I'm a pilot, but later on when you discover this guy flies for a very superior force. Air Force is not a joking force. We keep supporting our neighbors. You know what happened in Congo. I don't want to talk much about that, but the fact is, capture every opportunity that comes to you immediately after your graduation. And I can assure you, some of you listen to what others, negative forces come and tell you that what can you do? Can you make it? Your father never put a motorbike. Now we are talking of a vehicle. Just say in the mighty name of Jesus, I will break that law. 18:10 says, the name of the Lord is a strong tower where the righteous run and they are safe. You remember that. You are growing up and coming to this mighty university. And I like the motto of Nkumba. I am small in the eyes of people, but I am mighty in the eyes of God. So if you cannot utilize such a motto when you are here, then you are not going to make it. Use those kind of words to encourage yourself. And the first thing you should know is about yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you cannot make it. Believe in yourself, you would ask, why is it that the captain is putting Uganda up, then Nkumba down? I treasure my country, and Nkumba is giving me knowledge. That's why it's in Nkumba down. I treasure my country. I'm working for my country, and I'm thanking Nkumba's widening my scope of understanding, giving me knowledge. That's why you see, you ask me, why is it Uganda up, then Nkumba follows. It means I treasure Uganda, and then Nkumba has supported me with knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, today is not my day. I've been just given 5 minutes, and you know, as an aviator, I respect the time. And I thank you, in whatever you do, respect the time. You will never remain the same. Thank you so much once again. Also, take the opportunity to thank the minister for turning up for such a great occasion. Nkumba University is a fertile land for knowledge and skills. Right now, currently, the Dean of Social Sciences is skilling me and a student of masters in security and strategic management. And I believe next year I will be graduating. So when I graduate also, I will remember some of these important works that I've received. Maybe from another level, I will be lifted to another level. And I say, thank you, Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you so much, MC.
Thank you very much. On to the board, a momentous round of applause, please. Now, ladies and gentlemen, down to the final part of our agenda. Dr. Chris Baryomunsi is a physician, public health specialist, and a demographer. Most of us have seen him on NBS television, the Frontline. I don't know if most of you are familiar with that program. And for some of us to see him in flesh and blood is a dream come true. Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, we cannot say how much we are honored and esteemed to have you amongst us. So, ladies and gentlemen, collecting all the energy you have left, may we give a momentous round of applause to our chief guest as he comes to address us. Dr. Chris Baryomunsi.
Thank you very much, the Master of Ceremonies. Permit me to recognize the acting Vice Chancellor. Dean of Sciences, Dr. Abaho. Also, Ronald. We welcome him. Thank him for time and the presentation and the knowledge he has come to share with us this afternoon. Our pilot. But I also want to acknowledge people who have been facilitating this meeting this morning. A number of them have left, but we thank them. I also want to thank the other facilitators and the leadership and the visiting residents and leaders from other universities who are here. I hope they have been introduced to you. the guild president and the speaker are the ones who came to my office to invite me. And I want to acknowledge all of you and thank you for the warmth, the energy, the diversity, and the enthusiasm that you have shown in this conference or this meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, one time I was at a function. You know, these days even LCs want to speak English, even when they don't know it. So I was chief guest and the LC said, Mr. Minister, LC fine chairman, answers, then he got lost. He said, political observer. So political along with you, the one is political. So no problem. The political observer. So I can understand the political observer. I acknowledge the presence of all of you. Let me start by introducing myself. I'm sure you see me as the Dr. Baryomunsi, the television, where I could add to introduce myself. Yes, that is my name, Dr. Baryomunsi. I am an elected member of parliament for Chinchi's East Constituency in Kanungu. I don't know whether there are people who come from Kanungu here. There's a lady who was in the team that made me. The government of Uganda. I know we are here in the context of NRM, but there may be people who are not NRM. That's okay. But for those who are here, I am also the Vice Chairperson of NRM for Western Uganda. So I sit on the top governance structure of NRM called the Central Executive Committee. Chairman being General Yoweri Museveni, and he has 6 regional vice chairpersons. We have 6 regions under NRM. We have Central Region, Uganda, but also we have Kampala, we have Kampala as a region. We have Eastern Uganda, we have Karamoja as a region, we have Northern Uganda, the region are 5, then Western Uganda. Western Uganda extends from Karuma Dam, Karuma Bridge to Soro. That's where I am the Vice Chairperson representing the whole of Western region in the Central Executive Committee, but we are voted by NRM leaders in the whole country. So when you have a message for NRM, when you tell me it has reached. When you have a message for government, you read each of the page by the president on the bus, it has reached the government. Since I am also in an academic environment, I can say I am a medical doctor. I first qualified as a doctor with a degree in medicine and surgery at Makerere University. I later on did the postgraduate training, public health and demography, was in Makerere and the University of Brighton in UK. I also hold a PhD in public health. So when they say it's the government of fishermen, I won't necessarily a fisherman. And I have worked in several institutions. Of course, I worked as a doctor doing clinical work in hospitals, but I also served as the health advisor for the GTZ program in the Midwestern Uganda. And I was also a productive health advisor for the United Nations Population Fund, both in Uganda and also in New York. I used to be a lecturer at Katabi University, the Department of Population Studies and School of Public Health. And that's where I left to go into politics. Now you know me. So I am extremely very happy to be here this afternoon. The challenge of speaking to an audience at a time like this is that in the medical field we have what we call syndromes. You have heard about syndromes like HIV/AIDS. AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. We have another syndrome called the SARS, severe acute respiratory stress syndrome. Syndromes like diseases, a combination of symptoms of a disease. But there is also another syndrome which we call ALS, and the people suffer from it at a time like this. It is called after lunch syndrome. When you speak after people have had their lunch and it is hot, so I beg indulgence that we keep awake and we immunize ourselves against that syndrome. And it can be scientifically explained. You know, when you get a heavy lunch, I hope you had lunch. You had some simple snack. So you are hungry. No. Yeah, I'm going to the serious lunch is being prepared. Okay, very good. I hope I'll get the opportunity to take lunch with you. That is also good. If you have not had a heavy lunch, then you will not suffer from. Because you see, when something like doses the afternoon, for those who are teachers, there is a science behind it. That when you take a very heavy meal, the digestive system now goes into action. So even the brain, the blood which will be going to the brain, reduces and concentrates on the alimentary system. And then the brain is starved of enough energy. That's why sometimes it does. So it can be scientifically explained. But now that we took a right meal, I am very happy that you have it. You didn't have a heavy lunch. But I will just be brief and raise a few points. Let me start by thanking you for having invited me. Because we are very many people in the government, you could have chosen to invite any other person, but the fact that you chose me and invited me, I had very many activities today which I have cut off. Because your leaders took time, he came to my office and said, we have this symposium and we would like you to come and officiate for us. So who am I not to respect the command from the president? And therefore, we adjust the program and make sure that I find time to come and be here. I am always very happy dealing with university committees because, like I told you, I was once part of the university community. So when you raise issues and challenges, I understand them and I appreciate them and I feel for you. Now, the theme of this symposium is the fate of university students after graduation. And I'm sure various speakers have given you very useful information since morning, and I appreciate all the people who have spoken since you began in the morning. But I also take note that we are discussing this with the background of NRM leadership. I will combine the two. Before I give specific comments on the fate of university students after graduation, let me take you back to some historical facts. Even when some of them have been raised by previous speakers, it does no harm to remind ourselves. Now, Africa, that includes Uganda, has gone through a very long journey. I am sure you know from your studies of history that there is a time when Africans were traded as commodities in the name of slaves. You know that. Can you imagine a human being created by the same God, but another person comes and trades you as a commodity, ties you and takes you and saves you? We went through that. When you look at the developments in America, the developments in Europe, it was a human labor from Africa. Those plantations in America, those factories in Europe, it was a human labor from we the blacks, the people who they took as slaves, that did that. Now, when slavery lost its shine, now came colonialism. Now, European countries sat and shared Africa. The way you see it, share bread. This is the talk of cassava bread. The way you get a loaf of bread and you share, say, Dr. Anna, take this. Now you are father, take this, you take this. Now European countries sitting in Berlin, Germany, and they pass out Africa and share different territories, different countries. Now for us, we're taken by Britain. The French took many countries, West Africa. The Portuguese also took. The Germans took. The Belgians took Congo and the DRC and other countries. And then we're now under the rule or leadership of colonial masters. Here in Uganda, we were colonized for a period of close to 70 years, being led by Europeans. 1962, Uganda gets independence. Independence meaning that now we give you liberty to rule yourselves or to lead yourselves. That's when the Bazungu go and leadership returns our own people, Ugandans. And I want you now to look at the journey that Uganda has taken since we attained independence. And then I will bring you to NRM, how NRM came to be, what it has done, and maybe how do we look at this today, giving us a glimpse into where we going. Because you as young people, you are saying, you government, give us a message of hope. Is the future bright for us? Many people don't want to hear the history, but it's very important for you as young people to know where we are coming from. And then we assess where we are. That gives us a better picture to get scenarios on where we are likely to be 10, 20, 30, 50 years ahead. So now we move from slavery or slave trade, we go into colonialism. Now we go into independent rule or self-rule or self-governance. And we have moved as a country since 1962. Now what happens? At the time when Uganda attained independence, we were measuring favorably in terms of development with many other countries, like say if we use Asia. Have you heard of what they call the Asian tigers? Yes. Now, the indices in Uganda were measuring favorably across Africa, first of all, but also with some of the countries, say in Asia, Malaysia, Thailand, South Korea, Indonesia, Vietnam, Japan, all those countries, especially Southeastern Asia. But Uganda, like many other African countries, suffered a challenge of governance, among other things. I usually tell people that we attained independence in 1962. NRM, which we are speaking about, came in 1986. How many years are those? Between independence and the NRM coming, 86. How many? 24 years. That's a period of 24 years. Now, in a period of 24 years, we had about 9 presidents leading this country, but 9 presidents. There is even a time when we couldn't have 1 president, but we had 3 people making a presidency. Do you know that? Can you imagine? Things had failed to an extent that you couldn't get 1 person being a president. You had to get 3 people. And it was like a trinity of Christianity. The Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Now 3 people, 3 in 1, maybe. One was from Rubale, called Byarugaba. Another one was called Musoke from Uganda. There was a third one from Mulango. 3 people making a president. Can you imagine? That's a sign of failure. Now we had about 9 presidents in the 24 years. You can divide and maybe get the average. So how many years per president? And we had elections only twice. In April 1962 and December 1980. So only 2 elections producing 9 presidents. But what it means is that most of those presidents were being chosen from somewhere. You just go to radio, you hear announcement. Professor Yusuf Rubale has become the president. You don't know who has put him there, where he was selected from, but you hear on the radio that he's now the president. 2 months later, you get another announcement. He has been removed. We have now put another president. You are in Kanungu, you are in Yumbe, you are in Karamoja, you are in Tororo. You are not participating in putting there that president. You don't even know the people who are putting the president or who are removing. We went through that. But because of that, development suffered. The country regressed. The economy failed. By the time NRM came to assume leadership of this country, Uganda was a failed state. I usually like in Uganda was like a patient who is in a coma and on oxygen and being given steroids and life support, just life support. By the time President Joe Museveni and his team of NRA came to take over Uganda. In 1985, before President Obote failed, because he was deposed in 1985 by his own army, and then NRM came in 1986. President Obote came when secondary recovery, and he addressed us. And during his address, because before his government failed, he toured the country as if he was saying goodbye. And when he came, he made a statement. He said, I was told that you people of Kawale, you are eating food without salt. So he asked the audience, is this true that you people of Kawale are taking food which has no salt? People said, yes, Your Excellency. He asked 3 times and then he cried. He pulled out the handkerchief and wiped tears. Of course, those were political tears. But that shows you that there was scarcity of basic items, including salt. This is we talk of the high commodity prices, which is the challenge, of course. But these commodities are there. You will fail to buy sugar because you don't have money, but the sugar is there. You may fail to put fuel in your vehicle for those who have vehicles, but the fuel is there. It may be expensive, but it's there. By that time, even if you had money in your pocket, you would go to look for, and salt is the most best commodity. So by the time people have no access to salt, you can imagine other things. Sugar, bread, exercise books, the best items were not there in the shops. Do you know there was a time during the there was a minister responsible for supplies. If you wanted to buy beer, you look for a minister, he gives you a cheap. Oh, you don't know. There was a minister, you go, you get a cheap for you to buy it. You're not even free beer, but to go and buy it. So we reached that level. And I even challenge those who say, hey, NRM has not done this thing. But now, any item that you want in the shop, if I say bring this water, or bring this soap, or bring the bottle of beer, you just run to any shop and everything will be broke. So there is a fundamental difference between how the country was and where it is today. Yes, there are challenges which we must address as government, as Ugandans, but definitely anybody saying NRM has not done anything is either saying it out of ignorance or just bias. It's just not objective. Do you know, for instance, you, the ladies, for instance, it was very risky for you to board the bus and just go to your area of origin. Do you know there was a situation where you remove, say we go to West Nile, you reach a road block, they will let you get out. They ransack you, whoever has the money, they will take it. If you're putting on good shoes, the soldier will just get the shoes. If you're a beautiful woman, like most of you have seen, all of you, the soldier will just grab the woman, your wife or your sister, and just go in the bush there and have sex with her. I have a friend with whom we did medicine. Actually, he got so annoyed that he's now in the army, one of the senior army officers. He's a doctor. His brother, that was during the minister time, was traveling from Kampala to the north. There was a roadblock at Karuma Bridge for those who have gone to the north. So they were checking people, and he was putting on green socks. Socks which are green. They asked him, why are you putting on green socks? He goes to them in the market, and they threw him in the river Nile. Up to now, I have never seen him, of course, down that way. So I'm just giving some examples to show you how Uganda was. Just imagine you find you with the socks which are green. Of course, green socks are sold everywhere. Not the other socks, but just green color. And because of that, the soldiers got him and threw him in the river Nile. And he up to death. The situation was as bad as that. That is what prompted General Museveni with his team to say, no, we must put a stop to this and bring a new order to the country. Just like those of you who watched the front line, we were discussing DP and political parties and the political family. The political parties which were formed around the time of independence started from a very wrong foundation. They were formed on the basis of religion, on the basis of ethnicity and tribal background and many other considerations. So you find, like in my area, Chigezi, for those who come from Chigezi, TV was for Catholics. If I find you putting on a rosary, I can predict with microscopic accuracy that you are a TV person because of your faith. UBC was for Anglicans. Can you imagine? UBC was for Anglicans. Now in Uganda here, there was Kabaka Yeka. Now if you say Kabaka Yeka, how will you mobilize that in Michigan to be a member? Well, I don't believe in the Kabaka-ship because Kabaka-ship is for Ugandans to respect the Kabaka, but this is not Kabaka in Michigan. So that's how the political parties were formed. And the problems we face today still have roots in that politics of the day. Now, that one speaks to the ideological pillars of NRM, which somebody was talking about. Now, when NRM came, we said, no, we must put a stop to this political nonsense. How can you use religion and mix it with political party? How can you use tribe or your clan or your ethnic identity and you mix it with a political party? Because political parties are supposed to be associations of like-minded people, but with an ideology on how you can take leadership and take the country forward. Knowing that the country has many tribes, has people of different faiths, has people with many differences, but it's a country called Uganda. Now you cannot say my political party is for the Catholics. How about Anglicans? How about Muslims? Now we are the challenge because if you say DB is for Catholics, UBC for Anglicans, how about Muslims? Where do they go? How about the Pentecostals? How about people who have no religion? So that was one of the problems with the independent parties. They sharply divided Ugandans. In my place of Chigezi, a Catholic and an Anglican could not see eye to eye. I remember when we were young, UBC stroke Anglicans would go and cut plantations, banana plantations, coffee plantations of Catholics stroke TB. And of course, Catholics stroke TB would go and do the same. Anglicans would go to their church to pray, you find Catholics have defecated in the church. And vice versa. This is by the look at stories, but Uganda went through that situation. We sank as low as that. And of course, if those are the things which are taking your energies, then development suffers. That's how it was. At least in the elections of 1980, I was old enough, although I never voted, but I was old enough to see and understand what was going on. So that is the Uganda that we had from independence 1986. And that's what justified President Museveni and his colleagues to go to the bush and wage a war against the government of the day. That is why the local communities supported them, because for you to wage a war and win, you must have the support of the local people. And that's why they easily toppled the government, because things had become unmanageable. Now, coming NRM. NRM comes with a 10-point program, which was expanded later to 15-point program, but with key ideological principles, which somebody made reference to, namely patriotism, meaning love your country, love yourself, reject politics of identity, reject sectarianism, let's all look at ourselves as Ugandans. During those days, there was a sharp divide between the north and the south. We used to call the people of the north Abaho, Abanyanya, all those derogatory names. Yes, it's still there. That's what I'm saying. That history is still tinkering in our current situation. But then NRM came to destroy those divisions. People in the south root at people from the north with contempt, and vice versa. Then religion, like I would say, Catholics versus Anglicans. I know also there were fights, Christians versus Muslims. There was a big conflict here in central Uganda, where many Muslims shifted and migrated westwards. When you go to places like Imbarara, down to Kunjiri, you will find there prominent Muslim business people. But they didn't go there willingly. There was a war here between Christians and Muslims that pushed Muslims that direction. So that is the Uganda that we had from 1962 to 1986. Many of you may not have been born, but it's important to know how Uganda looked like in those days. Now, so NRM comes and says, we stand for patriotism. We are all Ugandans. We must respect each other. You never made an application to become an Acholi. You were born and you are from Acholi. You can't change it. You never made an application to be a Uganda. You were born and called yourself a Uganda and sought a crime. I never made an application to be a Mchiga. I was born and found myself a Mchiga, and you can't wish it away unless I die. The Munyankole the same, the Munyoro the same. Being a Munyoro is not a crime. Being a Mugishu is not a crime. That's your identity. But then all of us are living in one country, Uganda. Now, when I was pushing, saying, no, let's have a patriotic attitude in Uganda where we recognize and respect our differences in terms of tribe, in terms of religion, in terms of male and female, young and old, but all of us should respect ourselves as children of the same God. True? The main chauvinism which was there, women never had an opportunity to sit with other people. It was as if women were children of the lesser God. And therefore we said, no, patriotism. Let us recognize that Uganda is a country of diversity, but all of us are equal before God and equal before the law. And we must love our country. We may have differences here and there. You may be from Teso and from Chigezi, you are from Uganda, so is from Bujisu, so from Bunyoro, Toro, but we are all Ugandans. There is nobody who is superior to the other. All of us are Ugandans and we must be equal. And we must love Uganda as a country. I sometimes challenge opposition MPs when we travel outside. You are there in America, you are discussing, somebody starts saying, Uganda, we don't have this, but we have come to the conference in America and Uganda. You said, had this district in Harrisville, people, now you mentioned had this in America. What do we do? That's a issue for parliament for us here. But when we are there as Ugandans. Let us push issues of interest for Uganda. Then we can come and quarrel when we are back here in our country. The other day, we went to Dubai for a Dubai Expo. There is some MOP again, I'm not going to say MPs. Now, when we go outside, we are going as the Ugandan delegation to represent the interests of Uganda. Somebody now, we're at the opening ceremony where our president was, and the government officials of UAE, we had a function. So the people who were managing the pavilion of Uganda also, it was near where the function was, left to attend the function. So some MPs, instead of being at the function, they went to the pavilion and they filmed it and named the place without people manning the pavilion. And then I'm sure you must have seen this on social media. Say here in Uganda, the pavilion is abandoned, there's nobody there, and so forth. Now, when you go outside, you are there as an ambassador for the country. Now, if you are the very person saying Uganda is useless, is what? That's why the element of patriotism comes in. Yes, we might disagree here. I have NRM, you are opposition, that's okay. We can argue. But when we go to a country in the United Arab Emirates, in Dubai, they see us as Ugandans. I should not go there and badmouth the country where I come from. That's not an act of patriotism. Let me give you another example. Just after the recent elections, in some sections of rural Uganda, they began cutting electricity poles. Those who saturated with social media, they cut these poles of electricity, tearing them down. Reason they have been put by NRM government. Really, for somebody to have that attitude that you go and destroy electricity lines because you don't agree with NRM, is that a patriotic decision? The electricity has gone to the people, whether they are NUP or FDC or DP, electricity has come to the people. So, by cutting the electricity poles, there are people, young people like you, who are mobilized to ban roads, the ban Ntambirwe road. So we are saying, let's distinguish between our partisanship or being members of different political parties and things which benefit all Ugandans. So up to now, we still lack that spirit of patriotism in some sections of the. So NRM was saying, even when there are things which make us different, but let us respect each other as Ugandans. Let us not say that the males or we the men are more important than the women. No, we are all equally important. Let us not say, for us who are old, we are more superior than young people. No, let us give respect to young people. In the case, all of us have been young and we are growing. And all that informs the constitution which was made, informs the policies which we have as government. That's why you will find there was a deliberate decision to have women representation in the parliament, in the councils, and the structures of governance. There was a deliberate decision to have youth represented, to have a voice in the parliament, in the council, so that you, the young people, who will plan for you, you must be there when the plans and the budgets are being made to have your voice heard. That is why we say that should be a parliament where each community is represented, but also ensure that interest groups, the young people, the women, people with disability, workers, the army, you also be represented in parliament, so that the voice of parliament becomes the voice of Ugandans in the different spheres. Because the belief of NRM was, we are all Ugandans, let's move as Uganda. The other ideological principle was Pan-Africanism, or is Pan-Africanism. Meaning that we cannot exist alone as Ugandans and survive. You will need others in Africa, especially the black people. When there is a problem with DRC, it also becomes our problem here in Uganda. When there is a war in South Sudan, even us here we get affected. If there is turmoil in Kenya, we cannot run away from it. It will also affect us. So as we work as Ugandans, let us also know that we have sisters and brothers in Africa, especially. I have seen the politicians argue, why does President Museveni send UPDF to Congo? Why does he send UPDF? When I say President Museveni, I mean NRM government also. Why do you send UPDF to Somalia? Why do we send our army to South Sudan? And we're saying, what's wrong with sending UPDF to work with the army in Congo to flush out ADF, which ADF is killing Ugandans? Now we are looking for markets of the things which we produce. We can't consume. Once we invest in production, we find we cannot consume all the things which we produce. For instance, we are now producing more sugar than what Ugandans can consume. So who will consume it? You have to look for markets in the other countries. We are sending sugar to Kenya. The other day, the president of Tanzania was here. Part of the discussion was how much sugar can we export to Tanzania, and that's how we sell the sugar. We are producing more milk than what we can consume in Uganda. So you have to look for the market of this milk. Someone was telling me that there is enough market for tea in the DRC. To the fact all the tea we produce in Uganda, if we negotiate well with Congo, DRC, they can actually buy all the tea from Uganda. So you need brother relationships with the DRC for them to give you a market. Those of you who keep cattle, like those in Western Uganda, there is a huge market for cattle and meat, and many people have been successful in business selling meat and taking cattle to DRC. That informs the pillar of Pan-Africanism, that we depend on each other. We are together. The other pillar is socio-economic transformation. Yes, we can be patriotic, we can be Pan-Africanist, but we need a better quality of life as Ugandans. And that speaks to the services, these roads which we construct, healthcare, schools, electricity, all these services, because they are aimed at transforming the lives of the people. We improve the quality of life of the people. And then the last one is democracy. People say NRM is not democratic. What does democracy mean? Basically, put in simple words, it means empowering people to participate in electing leaders of their choice. So my question is, under NRM, are people participating to choose their own leaders? Can you be a little bit like me unless people have voted for you? I know that the Constitution, the President has powers to appoint ex-official ministers who become MPs, but to be an MP representing people, whether you PDF, whether people with disability, whether youth, you have to be voted by voters for you to be there. You cannot be a president of Uganda today unless Ugandans have said so. You see President Museveni, he travels, he shakes weight, looking for a vote of Ugandans. In some districts, they refuse to vote for him. In some polling stations here in Kampala and Wakiso here, he was getting 3 votes on the polling station. But when you add the votes, he goes all over the country, he had the majority votes, and he was declared the president of Uganda. So, there is democracy. The weaknesses here and there which is improved, but Ugandans participate meaningfully in electing their leader. You cannot be an LC1 chairperson of the village unless the people of that village have voted you. You can see parliament. We have a very high rate of attrition in parliament. Even in the other parliament, we lose about 70% of MPs. Why? I have been lucky to people to teach this in the first time. I don't have a minister going back. No, you have convinced the people that you are adding value to them as their leader. Even Could have been, there was the 8th parliament, 9th parliament, 10th term in the 11th. But every change of term, we lose about 70% of MPs. We have now very few MPs who are still in parliament, who were in the 8th parliament, because I joined in 2006. People are empowered. If you don't perform, they remove you. Even now, I have to work very people participate. I have been challenging the Dr. yesterday on talk show. I've always been winning and President Museveni cheats me. One time I challenged him, I said, no, the Electoral Commission publishes results on their website from all the polling stations in Uganda. If you go to their website, I'm sure you are IT compliant. If your polling station, wherever you come from, the results are there. I said, I'm offering you enough money to publish your results in your vision. And you say Electoral Commission has lied to this polling station. It just went away. They said, this man is just arrogant. No, I said, no. I said, I participate in the elections, I vote. These days, you cast your votes, we have agents as candidates, at the 4 p.m., they close the voting, they count. My supporters are there, the supporters of my opponent are there, they say, this man is one so good. And the papers are there. And here, this polling station, you have scored this, Museveni has scored this, you have this, you have this, and there. And those results are reported. Where do they cheat you from? And I have advised the political parties, especially opposition, that if you want to take over the leadership of Uganda, you convince Ugandans to vote you. You demonstrate that what you stand for is much better than what NRM is offering. I was saying on television last night that the challenge we have with our political parties is that you see when you go to like the US, they say these are Republicans, these are Democrats. But they will tell you Republicans, they have a stand on economy, they have view with this. They will tell you on issues of abortion and maternal health, their position is this. Whereas the Democrats are like this, Republicans are like this. Same in the UK, they say liberals, their view is this. But here you look at political parties, say the opposition political parties, which are very many. We have close 40 political parties, by the way.